Hey guys, so today for you guys we're going to be profiling a deck that I've really enjoyed playing. I played this, this about a week or so ago, and I played it online a little bit for fun. And this deck is pretty good. I've played this deck for the last about 5-6 months, and that is Aromages. Now, the reason I say I playtested this deck for 5 or 6 months is prior to the new support coming out very recently, I actually profiled this deck, and then about, I think it was like 3-4 days later, new support was announced. So yeah, that happened, and so I have the deck still constructed and everything, and I was like, okay, let's play with it, get more familiar with the deck and ratios. And then the new support came out, what, like 2-3 weeks ago, and then I've been play testing with that new support, you know, about a month ago now. I guess it's been a full month, and so I've been play testing with it ever since then, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing the deck. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile of my Aromage deck, which I have to say is fun because I love plant decks in general. So first off, we have our 3 Aromage Jasmine. Aromage Jasmine is kind of like your double summon type of monster. You gain life points and things of that nature. I've seen with the new support a bunch of different variations of Aromages. I've seen your standard Aromage deck with new support. I've seen wonky combo danger FTK versions. I've seen so many different versions. It just kind of makes me go, huh? But me, I just wanted to build a, not a purist, but like a plant version of Aromages. Not so much like a danger version or something of that nature. But 3 Jasmine's very good, like I said. Essential if you're trying to play like a pure plant version to some degree, and that's why we run 3 Jasmine in the deck. Like I said, very useful. We have 3 Aromage Rosemary. Now, Aromage Rosemary, I was thinking about cutting down to 2 of, and you could definitely do that. Some people I've seen just completely cut this card out of their deck. I mean, if you want to, you can. Personally, I have found, depending upon the meta and situation, this card can be really good. Sometimes, and not currently do I like running it, but sometimes I like running Abyss Dweller in the deck because this was a water-based attribute, so if you exceed it into Abyss Dweller, you gain the boost of that. Also, I like using this as a level 4 to go into Beast Barkion if I need to. And overall, she's pretty good, though her effect is not so good anymore, you know, changing monsters from attack to defense position. But she's still essential, I feel like, as some type of ratio in the deck, even with the new support. Because her level 4 level is very important to the deck and how it does different things. So, yeah. Next, 3 Aromasphere Angelica. Angelica is like a mini hand trap to you guys that don't know. I'm not going to read its entire card text. It's been around for quite some time now, and I talked more about this card in my last video. But Angelica is amazing. It's one of the main tuners of your deck. Amazing. It's a hand trap pretty much, and it's just a very good card to have. Next up, we have the new one, Aromage Laurel, and Laurel's pretty dang good actually. She creates other tuners on the field. She turns other monsters into tuners, which can lead to other things that the deck can do. And I really, really, really like that. And it's been really fun to play around with that, actually. So I want to read you the effect if you guys don't know, so you just understand. If your life points are higher than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you gain life points, target 1 non-tuner plant monster on the field. It is treated as a tuner this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can gain 500 life points. You can only use the effect of Laurel once per turn. So this card is really good, like I said. Some people like running it as a 3 of. I find that to be a little bit too much. Some of the main ways I use Laurel, and I was trying it at 3 of for a hot couple, about a week or so when I was first playtesting the new support. But I like it as a 2 of because it's very good and it's very nice to have. But I really like using her to go into link plays. Your main play, you know, being Aromasphere Jasmine, you know, over here. But I also sometimes use it for synchro plays too, but mainly I like using it for link plays because it helps you build a board with maybe a link monster, you know, Jasmine, and then have some other things on the field as well. So very useful card, but definitely a 2 of. 3 of you could play around with, but that's up to you. Next we have Aromage Marjoram, I think is how you pronounce it. And this card has been pretty good to use, actually. Like, I've used this card pretty often. I originally tried this as a 2-of in the deck, and I found out that it's definitely a possible 2-of in the deck. I will say that. You could run this card as a 2-of in the deck, but I just found, for space reasons and everything, to run it as a 1-of in the deck. Again, it's sort of like a pseudo type of hand trap card. I'll read you its 2 effects. When a plant monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card from your hand, then gain 500 life points. Alright, and this all requires that your life points are higher than your opponent's. I should mention that. The second effect is if you gain life points, target cards in your opponent's graveyard up to the number of Aromage monsters you control, banish them. So pretty good card overall, like I said. I like it as a 1-of. Some people like it as a more than 1-of, but I prefer it as a 1-of. Great card, though, in the deck. Let's get back into our nitty-gritty of basic stuff here. Your 3 Lone Fire Blossom. You guys know what Lone Fire does. You pretty much tutor out anything you need from your deck. 3 Predaplant Scorpio. I do like the Scorpio engine in the deck still. I was testing it without it and with it, and at the end of the day, because the deck needs an extra normal summon to really get the kick on, get it going, I decided to actually run the Scorpio engine, and the fact that you can tutor it out from the deck has been pretty nifty. So I do like that. I do run 1 Darling Cobra as well. I've seen people run Darling Cobra. I'm tongue-tied, forgive me. 2 double Darling Cobra and actually double Garnet, which I also run Garnet as well. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to ever... I tried that, and I bricked every hand. There would be a dead card in my hand. Like, every other duel, I had a dead hand. Because I would either draw a double Darling Cobra or double Gym Knight. Not a fun day. So, to anybody out there running that, if it works for you, it works for you. But please, do not run double Darling Cobra and double Garnet, like I've seen people do recently. Not a good thing. I found in playtesting, I was just like, let me try it, because I just want to see if I'm missing something here. And it bricked. So yeah, that's why we just run 1 and 1 of each. You guys should know what this does. We do run 2 targets, just in case you draw one, so this engine will usually always be lived. We run 1 Instant Fusion and 1 Brilliant Fusion to search out through this combo. So very essential to the deck. Helps you go for your basic link play into Aromage Jasmine. Great cards. For your basic plants, I run 1 World Carry Rate Champion. Some people run him still, some people don't. I still like him. He's been very useful. 1 Rose Lover, which nobody runs anymore apparently, but I really like it because it just helps me add special summoning to my deck, and I can pitch this to the graveyard, so yay, that's cool. And 1 Glow Up Ball, because this helps me go into Naturia Beast and do other things. So yeah, just 3 basic plant support cards I like running in the deck still. Then we run 3 Ghost Sisters and Spooky Dogwood. I decided to throw one of the alternative artworks in there because I like the alternative artwork as well. Why do we run this? Now, the deck, for the most part, I have found, is able to gain life points super quickly. Like, I am pretty happy with the way the deck can gain life points in many different ways. Against certain strategies, Spooky Dogwood is really awesome and will help you gain a multitude of life points, actually, I have found, through playtesting. Some people run Ash Blossom still. That's cool. Some people run, Spooky Dogwood and Ash. Some people just run Ash and no Spooky Dogwood. Some people run Call by the Grave, which I definitely agree with is really useful in the deck, but I just could not find the space in the deck to save my life. And I've seen other people try out different cards in the deck, like Cauldron of the Old Man, which is a cool card to run in the deck and everything, and I play tested it when it came out, and even at sneak peek for a half minute, and I just said to myself, yeah, this is a great idea, and then I was like, well, my deck gains enough life points as is. So you can definitely run Cauldron of the Old Man, but I just prefer Spooky Dogwood for the ability to insert against certain decks be really amazing. So yeah, you could run different life recovering cards that you want to in the deck, like Cauldron of the Old Man. Poison of the Old Man, if you want to, you can go with that. When I first built this deck, I ran Poison of the Old Man, and I said after everything was done and after I play tested the deck and took it to a tournament, I took it right out because I hated it. It just was cool, but it just wasn't enough. Cauldron of the Old Man's okay, but I like Spooky Dogwood. If you have them, I would choose Spooky Dogwood over the other ones, but that's just me. Next up, I just wanted to talk about that for a second because I've seen a whole bunch of people run a lot of life point gaining cards in the deck. Next, 3 Aromage Garden and 1 Terraforming. It's your field spell of the deck. It helps you gain life points, do a bunch of different things. It's essential. 1 Terraforming is nice to have in the deck just to thin your deck out. But yeah, this card's been around forever. Next, we run 2 Aromage Gardening, which I wish was a super rare. Oh my gosh, I wish this card was a super rare. Really, really, really pretty decent good card. I really like this card in the deck. Now, I tried it as a 3 of. It's okay. I like it as a 2 of in the deck. You gain 1,000 life points when you normal or special summon an Aromage monster. Okay, so I'm going to read you the effect in total so you guys know how this works. If you normal or special summon Aromage monsters, except during the damage step, you can gain 1,000 life points. Okay, that's cool. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, while your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon 1 Aromage monster from your deck. You can only use the effect of Aromage Gardening once per turn. Really, really, really good card. Really like it. Definitely a staple, I feel, of in the deck. I've seen different ratios be run. I personally like it as a 2 of in the deck. Amazing artwork, by the way. I really appreciate that artwork in the deck. Very nice. Then we run Instant Fusion and Brilliant Fusion. Like I said earlier, this is because we want to get double summons. We want to get cards in the field to make our link plays. And also for the fact that this is easily searchable, as you guys should know, as I spoke to earlier, through your Predaplant Darling Cobra combos. So, pretty straightforward, right? So that's why we run Brilliant Fusion and Instant Fusion. Next up, we run 1 1-for-1. We have a lot of level 1s in the deck. It's really nice to pitch cards to the graveyard to get their effects off and then bring something out from your deck. Foolish Burial is essential in the deck because you have a lot of Foolish Burial targets. Pretty straightforward. Monster Reborn, well, your plants. You like reviving. So, pretty straightforward spell cards for the deck. Next up, for our traps, 1 Dried Winds, 1 Blessed Winds, which is the new trap, and 1 Humid Winds. Now, Dried Winds, I was considering running it as a 2 of. I used to run it as a 2 of, but the fact that you're able to search it out now through the new Synchro card, Aromage Sweet Marjoram, this made me decide to cut it down to run other things in the deck. But still, you could definitely run 2 Dried Winds in the deck if you want to, but it is searchable through Marjoram, I believe, nowadays. Blessed Winds is pretty good. I'll go over this quickly because it's a new card. Send 1 plant monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Target 1 plant monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then gain 500 life points. Pay 1,000 life points, special summon 1 Aromage monster from your graveyard. Cool. It's really useful overall and very useful. They're all useful in their own ways. Searching, reborning stuff, bouncing stuff. They're all good in their own ways. But personally, I like just running 1 of each because they're searchable now. But they're very good. Next up, for your extra deck, let's get into, we run the Akiza token, which we love. Thank you to my friend who gave that to my birthday. Gave it to my birthday a couple months ago. Aromage for your Jasmine. You know how good this card is if you're familiar with plant archetype based things. If you're in the OCG and see Needle Fiber do things with this a while ago. 2, Aromage for your Majoram. I'm going to read you this quickly at the bottom, just the 2 main effects. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can add 1 Humid Winds, Dried Winds, or Blessed Winds from your deck to your hand. If you gain life points, target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. This all requires that your life points are higher than your opponent. Pretty much. But very, 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 very good card. Next we run 2 Aromasphere Rosemary. Pretty good synchro as well. I also run just for some generic synchros. Charge Warrior, Beast Barkion, which I talked about earlier. Brionek, because if you get a hand where you have a bunch of targets that you want to pitch to destroy your opponent's stuff, Brionic comes in handy. Also 1 Black Rose because, well, you can still make Black Rose, and remember, Black Rose has that other effect as well, so it's more versatile in this deck than any other deck. 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, 1 Unicorn. If you have space for Borreload or Savage Dragon or Sayuja or whatever else you want to run, feel free to run it. We also run 1 Mud Dragon, which is your instant fusion target, which is really helpful against hand traps. And then 1 Gem Knight Seraphonite, which is very useful as well. As you guys know, this is your brilliant fusion target. So that's the deck in the nutshell, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Like I said, I really enjoy this deck and playing with this deck. It's been a blast to play for the last month or so. And dude, like, I love this deck to death. It's just so fun to play with, you know, going to the different combo plays that you can go into and do different little things here and there. It's really awesome and fun to play with, and I'm happy that they got more support. Are they competitively, is this a competitively viable deck? I mean, yeah, but it's not going to top a YCS or regionals, I don't think, but I think it could definitely do good at your locals, and it's going to throw people for a loop. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. Go Aromages, go Akiza, because she's the plant queen. And until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.